Whenever you're P. Diddy and you have a lot of people that's around you, that's a bunch of yes men, nobody that's really able to check you, you tend to talk too much. And what I mean by that, I remember Michael Jai White did an interview, I think, with that guy who does a lot of hip hop videos.
There are people who missed essential character building ass whipping around Sean Combs. You know, I'm always concerned about people. I know he's Puffy or Sean. I erase all that stuff, right? So I see a cat that I'd be concerned with that if somebody isn't checking him, or if it's left to his own devices and ego, that you're gonna see somebody that's not gonna be able to be contained.
Savage! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get!
There are people who missed essential character building ass whipping growing up. I look, concern was like, man, that dude he's got just nothing but, yes people around him. He's gonna be in trouble. Like nobody, so you need to rein that in. So, like I said on this show before, if you didn't check yourself or balance yourself out before you get money and power, oh, good luck. It's gonna be hard to rein that in later when you got all these people kissing your ass. I've been around.
All right, so whenever you get power at a young age, it tends to mess people up. Some people who are born into it can learn from their mentors, normally family members, to learn how to handle that power and the responsibility that comes with it. However, though, whenever you hit the lottery or you may get lucky and get a music deal or something along those lines, and you have people around you that are just yes, 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 nobody tell you no or tell you something that's a bad idea, you tend to spiral out of control and you talk too much. That's what happened with P. Diddy. And the reason I say all that, if you think about it, I remember back in the day that P. Diddy said that he wanted to sue Empire, not Empire, Fox, for Empire, because he said they stole his life story. I didn't think nothing of it, because again, like I said, I never considered P. Diddy gangster, more gangster adjacent, that he knew more gangsters around him. He wasn't necessarily about that life. Now, when you watch Empire, you see Lucius Lyon, the main character. Cheating, infidelity, his kids doing all kinds of criminal stuff, and he's encouraging it. Criminal activities in line with the feds, have family members in there, all kinds of stuff. Family members in the Fed. Lucius Lyon had a brother who was a Fed. P. Diddy, his father was a federal informant. His sons, his youngest son, slept with his wife, or I guess it was his fiancée, Anika. What ended up happening there? Now his son is being indicted for also the similar crimes as his father when it comes to the activities that along the lines of Cassie. And that also segue into that. It kind of makes you curious. Did he also enjoy Cassie's pleasure or enjoy Cassie's company like his father did? Because again, P. Diddy said Empire is ripping off his life. And sometimes you gotta have people around you to tell you, hey, stop talking. You're talking too much, you're doing too much. Eventually this is all gonna come back to you. Now I get it. You're a millionaire. You have a major record label. People are always gonna be coming to you, wanting to do stuff for you. It's for you and to you to get ahead, to get that extra money and assets and fame and exposure that you control. And he controls a lot of it, even back in the 90s. And again, until all this stuff came out with the Whitney Williams stuff that she was saying, the interviews you see people talking about, even Michael Jai White, he even said that, P. Diddy was going to be out of control because he has nobody there to check him. Which leads into why he respects Jay-Z so much, because I feel like Jay-Z is the only person that would tell him no, because that would be considered his equal. However, though, as we all know and seeing that Jay-Z may be just as bad as he is, because I'm gonna put this in another video most likely. I have seen another YouTuber, and when I made the other video, I put in there, he talking about how Jay-Z got with Foxy Brown when she was 15. Now, keep in mind, back then in the 90s, I graduated high school in the early 2000s, and I started in the late 1990s. And I was in middle school around that time. So, of course, Foxy Brown and Jay-Z, I did listen to their music, but they're all older than me. So I didn't think nothing of it, of their relationship and how they met and all the stuff and lyrics that they were saying. I just saw Foxy Brown. I thought she was fine as hell. which she was, because I was underage looking at an older girl. But in hindsight, I never put two and two together that Jay-Z was pretty much putting on R. Kelly with Aaliyah when it comes to Foxy Brown. So it kind of makes me curious. I don't even say curious. I just want to know, is that why he went on tour with R. Kelly? And they were close and good friends? They're all doing the same activities? And P. Diddy, same thing, because that other lawsuit with that girl that nobody really talks about anymore, about that 17-year-old being in his lap. I mean, I guess she's closer to 18, and he was in his early 20s at the time, but she was still underage. And it's getting to the point to where anybody that has or had a lot of money are more than likely into a lot of dark stuff, which kind of gives me more respect for Kanye. A lesson that comes out about him, about all the stuff he was saying, that all these people, they can't blackmail him, they can't touch him because he didn't go into that stuff. Yeah, he was into, women like Kim Kardashian, and he had a certain addiction of the adult nature, but nothing underage or illegal, as far as we know right now. So, anyways, you guys say what you think. I just find this very strange what's going on right now. But he told himself, he told on himself all those years ago when he said that Empire was a ripoff of his life and he wanted to sue. He could have just left it alone, because I would never put those two together if it wasn't for P. Diddy's mouth. Nobody else put that correlation out there but him. Anyways, you guys tell me what you think. Subscribe if you haven't. Like, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Bye. They say that fiction imitates real life, and sometimes real life is a lot stranger than fiction. This seems to be the case when it comes to Empire. Now, Empire, if you don't remember, or if you're too young to remember, was a very popular TV show back in the day. In fact, it broke all kinds of records for the network of Fox. It went downhill eventually, but here's the thing. Sean Combs, P. Diddy, wanted to sue Fox and Lee Daniels for pretty much copying his life. Here's a few quotes about that era when it comes to P. Diddy and his mindset on the situation. It's basically my life except all the ALS stuff, all the homosexuality, and everything pretty much has been done too. They might as well call it Breaking Bad Boys, said Combs. Another quote is, they basically are detailing everything I had to go through. The shootouts, working with Timberland and divas, going to prison. I mean, all of it. I think they may owe me some royalties. You can't just put out Sean Combs' biography without paying me, and I'm filing $1 million lawsuit. Now, that's pretty interesting that he said that, because if you watch Empire, there was a lot of stuff going on. And a part of that was his sons messing around with one of his women, Lucius Lyon's wife, Anika. So, Hakeem, the youngest son, slept with Anika, and that was a whole storyline there, and they got a kid together, Anika and Hakeem. The reason I bring that up is, P. Diddy said this is pretty much a biography. They're pretty much stealing his life. And one of the things that happened that kind of similar goes to that is Cassie, P. Diddy, and maybe one of his sons. Now, his sons are now in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit himself too. And I'm kind of curious, did his son participate in one of those free calls? And that's why he's being, have a lawsuit against them now. Now, Lee Daniels would be privy to all that information about P. Diddy's life, and if he did base it off him, that wouldn't surprise me. So it kind of makes you want to take a second look at Empire, go back and look at it, and maybe a lot of stuff that's been on there is the exact same stuff, if not worse, P. Diddy has done. I mean, there was a lot of people losing their lives, affairs, scandals. It just shows what kind of a bad man Lucius was. And eventually he tried to repent, but you know how that works out. Anyways, you tell me what you think. Are you going to go back and try to watch Empire again? Or do you think this is all too far-fetched? Sometimes you talk too much. If nobody would have made that correlation to P. Diddy and Empire until it came out of his own mouth. Because I know I didn't when I watched it back in the day. I had no idea P. Diddy had that reputation back then, because when I saw P. Diddy back in the day, I remember him having a shirt saying "Vote or Die" and all this other kind of stuff being on Nick. I didn't see him as that gangster type person, more of gangster adjacent. That he put on a lot of gangsters, but he wasn't into that lifestyle per se. That's what he gave off. But Lord and behold, he was the worst out of anybody he ever signed.